Hello, my name is Emily Beach, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this plaster cast low relief tile. Here are a couple others, and you can watch my second video on how to do the painted surface technique if you would like to learn how to do that. I'm going to be starting out with a 10-inch by 10-inch piece of cardboard, and the first thing I'm going to do is trace a ruler on it 2 times on each side. Next thing I'm going to do is cut on these areas where I made the yellow lines. Next, I'm going to fold up on these pink dotted lines. Next, I'm going to fold the tabs on the outside. It's really important that the tabs get folded on the outside of the box and not the inside of the box. That's going to keep the inside of the box nice and crisp and clear. To secure this, I went all the way around the outside with my tape because those little tabs are going to want to pop out. So if you go the whole way around with tape like a belt, it's going to help keep those all together. So I did 2 times around. And the next thing I'm going to do is fill up the bottom of my cardboard box up to that middle pencil line with clay. I like to use reclaimed clay on this because we're going to throw the clay out afterwards, but you could also use new clay. The color of your clay isn't really important here. I'm just going to try to smooth out the top surface of the clay. And then you can see I've gotten a selection of items that I'm going to be pressing down into the clay. I think it's a good idea to arrange those items within your box first, just so you can kind of see what kind of composition you want to have. I have some larger items, I have some smaller items in here, and just kind of looking at where each of those pieces is going to fit. So I'm not pressing them down in yet. Just kind of arranging within my composition. So I put a thin layer of cornstarch on my clay just to help with the release of those objects. So I'm going to pull them out and you can see the imprint in the clay. That's going to keep the objects from really sticking down into the clay. You don't have to have a whole lot of cornstarch, just a little bit. I'm just going to use this push pin to lift up that paper clip. So now I'm going to prepare this for pouring the plaster. To prepare the plaster, I'm going to be using this 16-ounce styrofoam cup, a tongue depressor popsicle stick for stirring, and I have found that these applesauce containers are really good to repurpose and use for measuring out the plaster. I'm going to measure a 1-to-1 ratio, so I'm going to do 3 full containers of water of the applesauce, and I'll put them in, and then I will slowly put in 3 scoops of plaster into that while stirring, and then after that is mixed up, you're going to want to pour it pretty quickly so that it can start to set up. The plaster has been sitting for about 15 minutes, and I poured some excess water off of the top, and I set my paper clip down into the back of this to create a hanger. This plaster has sat for about an hour and a half. You could also let these sit overnight or over a period of 2 days or over a weekend to harden. That's fine. I'm just going to open up the box slowly. Okay, then I'm gonna flip this over And I'm going to peel the clay back from the plaster. So it's important that you peel the clay rather than try to flex or bend the plaster when you are removing these. The clay will bend and pull off. It doesn't have to all come off in one piece, but you certainly can have it all come off in one piece. All right. And that is my relief sculpture. I'm going to talk about how to paint these using a metallic patina. So make sure you watch that video if you'd like to see how to finish these. But that is a plaster relief sculpture.